What's up, guys? We are back with episode 3 of FHN GameDay. I'm Kyle.
I'm Devon.
I'm Parker.
And I'm Sam.
On the show, we basically talk about the latest news and moves in both professional and FHN sports. So to kick off the show, we're going to start with some hockey. So, Sam.
Yeah, so the hockey team is 2-5 this season so far. Our last game we lost a nail biter to Clayton 3-4.
Ooh.
Our stat leaders are Matthew Wells with 5 goals, which is a pretty respectable number in 7 games, and Alexander Deemer with 3 assists.
Okay.
Isn't Bennington out?
No, this is
What are you
FHN
talking
sports.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
Anyways, so yeah, they've had a odd season. You know, they beat Eureka, a really pretty solid team, but then they lost bad to Zumwalt East and bad to Central, and it's like
Eureka
it's
is
just-
normally known to be like pretty good at their sports program too.
oh yeah,
so.
yeah. That one was a surprise, and we won like
By
it
a lot.
4-0?
It was like 4-0.
yeah.
Brazil.
Like
Yeah.
how does that happen? I'm confused. But yeah, swimming and diving. It's girls swim and dive season. They've had 2 meets so far. They placed 3rd in the first meet of the year on last Friday against Pattonville and Hal. And you know, Hal of course is always a top contender.
Yeah.
Dominates literally every sport there is.
Pretty much.
Hal won that meet by a lot, but we did have our diver, Sophia Arnold, placed 2nd of the 4 divers, just behind the Hal diver, of
That's
course.
pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean, 2nd of 4,
Yeah.
that's a good performance, and she wasn't super far behind her either in terms of points. And they just had another meet on Monday, and they won that meet. It was versus Duchesne, and we won 131-42.
Yeah.
Which is
I saw that
unanimous.
on our FHNtoday Instagram, which
Yeah.
you should follow. And apparently it was because we like completely outnumbered their team.
Oh yeah.
Like I forgot what segment it was in, but only 2 girls competed, and both of them were from North.
Yeah,
So-
that was diving.
That's
we had
what
2
it was.
divers.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it was good for us because they had like 10 swimmers/divers total. We had like, I think our teams were around 25 to 30. So, you know, it's the same effect with Hal though. Hal has so many more divers and swimmers than we do, and so they're able to rack up those points. It's very similar. And so yeah, I mean, when you're outnumbering the other team by 15 to 20 players,
Yeah.
you're gonna win. There's no way you can't.
Pretty much.
But yeah, they have another meet that just happened last night, and we will update you guys with more details on that next week. But Devin, would you like to talk about boys basketball here at North?
Our varsity boys basketball team isn't off to a good start right now, with the record of 0-5 so far. Our last game was a bad one, losing by 11 to St. Charles West again. But we're looking to bounce back December 10th, Friday.
Yep.
So
So that is tonight, actually. So boys basketball, they've had a rough season. I'm just gonna be straight up. They've had bad.
And you said we lost to St. Charles West twice now?
twice, yeah.
And
We played them for our first game of the season.
We
Yeah.
lost by like 14 or something. It was over 10.
and they're a team that is not that good either. We should beat them, and we've lost twice now.
And the thing is, it's like we have talented players on our basketball team. We got Paul. We have Trent.
We have Tony
Yeah.
Breads. I think
Tony.
it's just a lack of communication. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to the game when they played at Zumwalt South, and we just can't break a press to save our lives.
Yeah, no.
It's really bad. We in that game,
Tough.
we did not get past the free throw line on 90% of our possessions. Our free throw line.
Wow.
We would turn it over before it even got a half court, and
That's not
you know, there's some extent where it's just like a height advantage. Like Zumwalt South had 3 guys taller than our tallest.
Wow.
But there's also communication, and it's just, I think there's just something missing there that I'm not sure what it is. 'Cause
Chemistry. I think chemistry is really hurting us.
it might be
Chemistry's
that.
huge.
I think passing is one of their main problems too. I mean, we get under pressure, and then we just throw up a lob, and it gets cut off and caught. And
Or we're thrown out of bounds.
And I feel
Yeah.
like loss after loss after loss. like your motivation just goes down.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
demoralizing.
just need
for sure.
a win to get their motivation going.
Yeah.
So.
You know, while
Yeah.
we're on the topic of basketball, let's go ahead and move on to girls basketball.
Yeah.
So, we got our first win on November 30th.
In the first game.
Yeah,
Of the season.
which was pretty good. And so now we're trying to grab another on the 16th against Fort Zumwalt South.
Hmm.
When I did my research, they were 1-3, so that's pretty good. You know, pretty
Yeah.
even record.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia Hunt and Hannah Ermling have been the Steph Curry and Kevin Durant
I
of high school
know.
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah.
So Alicia has 24 points on the season right now, and Hannah has 21.
Yeah.
Both of them are averaging over 10 minutes a game. Or 10 minutes, 10 points a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're pretty solid so far.
Yeah, you know, we have good shooters. Ermling's coming back from an injury, so I don't think. I mean, she has potential to be averaging 20 a game.
Oh, yeah,
Easy.
for sure. Yeah.
And I think if she did score 19 in one game, I believe. And I think if we can just like get her back to full form and her shooting consistently, because she's a great shooter. Last year she was head to head with Isabel Delarue, and I think she just needs to get in her rhythm. I think she hasn't found that quite yet,
Mhm.
and I think once she does, once we have her and Alicia shooting, it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be
It's
good.
gonna be deadly.
Unfortunately, though, we did lose to Howell,
Whew. Yeah.
55-29, which was, you know, a little setback. But that
Yeah.
happens, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, at
Well,
least they won a game,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
That's
Not
not
that
positive.
That game,
exactly.
it's kind of a thing throughout all of our basketball program. Like the passing, it's just like at that Howell game, I
Yeah.
was only there for the first quarter and a half, and we had at least 8 turnovers.
Nothing was falling for us either.
no,
Hannah,
not at all.
Hannah put up at least 4 shots that did that little in and out thing where it
Mm.
bounces between
Don't
both
like
rims
those.
and then goes out.
Well,
It was rough.
and it was just like we couldn't get balls even shot though. Sometimes like
Mhm.
we would just make
The pass
the shots. Yeah, the passes would either get intercepted or whatever, or our shots would just get smacked down for like no reason. Like we could avoid those, and those are just things that I'm sure they'll be working on.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
I mean, this is a long season.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of room for improvement here. So
Yeah.
I have high hopes for them. I think they can do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are now going to jump into professional and college sports. So to kick it off, we got college football with Sam. You want to run us through that real quick?
Yeah, so first I want to talk about the SEC championship game.
Uh-huh.
Alabama pulled off the upset against Georgia.
Obviously,
man.
obviously,
I mean,
obviously.
You weren't surprised?
No.
I wasn't surprised.
It's Alabama.
Alabama all day.
They lost to Texas A&M, but I mean, it's Alabama.
But what about that Auburn game, though?
It's
The
Alabama.
Auburn game was
Auburn
crazy.
game, yeah,
I mean, their
it was.
rivalry is just.
They
Yeah.
just-
The Auburn. Yeah, that was really close. But
Yeah.
It's
Didn't they go into like
It
2 or
is
3
Alabama.
overtimes?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
went into like 2 overtimes.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate for Auburn.
Oh, no, they went into 4.
I was so
like
upset.
that. But
Alabama actually worked for that one. I think they deserved it.
Mhm.
uh-huh.
Yeah, Auburn just kind of seemed to give up almost. But they just stopped getting the pass protection and stopped passing, which is like what they were doing well at. They were not rushing at all.
Yeah,
They
right.
stopped for some reason.
And
But
really
anyways.
what won them that game was their O-line was playing amazing, and Trey Young was unstoppable with a total of 461 total yards. That's a new SEC championship record. So
161. Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty impressive feat.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally passing 4.5 football field lengths.
mhm.
Yeah.
Like, that is really, really good.
Okay, and then let's talk about the Big Ten championship game. Number
Oh.
2 Michigan against number 13 Iowa.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think everybody knew Michigan was going to win that. They were
Yeah.
obviously the favorite.
That
But
Michigan
I would
defense.
they didn't really play their game. I think that's really why they lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were going to lose anyways, but I mean,
that was just really bad.
it was.
Like,
42-3 is crazy.
I think it would have been a lot different.
I mean, that's
if, Ohio State beat Michigan originally, and then we played in the Big Ten championship. You
Maybe.
know what happens?
you know, it's just crazy. Like, that's a score you see, like, a 1 seed playing a 16 seed, like, a crap seed. Like, not even seeded.
Hmm.
You don't even see that high of games sometimes when you see, like,
Yeah.
Georgia play an unranked team,
Mhm.
which is, like, Michigan is that good.
Mhm.
There's there's like the 2 seed is really good this year, which isn't normally something that it's normally Alabama and Clemson, but then like beyond them, there's not really a power college usually.
And Clemson's not even ranked anymore.
No,
Yeah,
like
that's
they
crazy.
totally just shut down this season.
Oh yeah, they're missing Trevor Lawrence, I think.
Yeah, he's injured.
Well, yeah, but nonetheless, I mean, it's Clemson. You gotta have some other players there,
Yeah,
right?
like a huge D1 program.
I mean, I think they were ranked 4th to start off the year, and now they're not even ranked. I mean, how do you
Crazy.
drop out that fast
Yeah.
in the AP top 25?
That is really
it's
bad.
crazy.
Yeah, so lots of interesting stuff going on with college football. So moving on to college basketball. So we got Purdue, obviously, the 1 seed. Jumping from the 4 seed, they just dominated. They're like unstoppable this year. By far, obviously the best team in the college basketball picture. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
they're
they
really
got
good.
yeah, Jaden Ivey scoring like 20 points a game. They just have so many good players. And you know, they've had a lot of years where they've been like 2 seed or like 3 seed in March Madness. I think this year, mark my words, this is the year they're going to win.
The whole thing?
Yeah, whole thing.
Wow.
Usually that's not how it works.
They're going to win the championship.
That's
There
a
is
bold
no
statement.
There is no
That is a pretty
team
bold
that
statement.
can...
You never know. I mean, there could be another Cinderella story like there was last year.
Okay, there could be. But I don't see it happening.
I see it happening.
If they end up
Always
playing
possible.
Loyola, they'll be toast. Because Loyola is
I
just
think all
somehow...
they have to do is just play a 16 seed.
Oh, yeah, they're going to play a 16 seed.
If they're still number 1
Yeah.
by the time March Madness rolls around.
And they will be.
Which you never
And
know.
it'll be
I
an
mean,
upset.
Duke was number 1 and they lost to Ohio State,
Okay,
They did.
yeah.
who was unranked.
But
Just throwing that out there.
I think Purdue's just on a whole different level than Duke, though. I think so.
I mean,
My opinion, I say Purdue.
all right, mark
But
my
anyways.
words. They're gonna lose in 3 weeks.
All
Within
right.
3 weeks.
You have
Alright.
injuries,
Let's
you
do
have
it.
all this stuff that factors in.
I guess, yeah, there's a lot of factors, but I don't see it happening. We got Duke at number 2, UCLA at 3, Villanova at 4. And then dropping down in lower ranks, Gonzaga was number 3 prior to losing to Alabama. Alabama, you know, they're so hard to like. They're so good at every sport. They used to not be good at basketball, and now they're dominant in basketball, football. They're good at baseball. Like, they're solid all around. What do you think?
I was gonna say like, when you were saying Alabama was good at every sport, I was like, well, basketball are normally iffy. But then you said like they really stepped it up this year, and they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they're number 12, so you
Well-
gotta hand them some props, right?
Yeah, and I mean I think they were an 8 or 9 seed last year in March Madness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were
Oh,
a solid
wow.
team last year, but yeah, prior to that, their basketball team was nothing special.
Yeah.
But they've certainly taken it up a notch in there, and it's unfortunate. I don't like it at all.
Mm-mm.
So,
I love it.
oh,
Okay, bandwagon.
why?
Looking like Devon over here.
Okay,
Yeah,
come on.
Mr. Golden State. But yeah, Parker, you want to talk about some hockey for us? NHL?
Man. So the Blues are currently 2nd in the Central Division behind the Minnesota Wild. I believe the last game we just won was against the Florida Panthers, and that was in overtime, 4-3. So very, very impressive.
Okay.
So I think they would probably be around the 14-8 record, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And they have 4 overtime losses this season, which is not a very impressive number to have because that's like
Yeah.
one of the highest overtime losses so far in the season.
Oh, and that's not a good sign for the team either.
Mm-mm.
If
And-
lacking clutchness.
Yeah.
Like, I don't-
Yeah.
And not to mention, 4 overtime losses at the same amount we had at the end of last season.
Oh my
So
God.
already not very
So-
good.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. But Brandon Saad leading goal scorer with 10.
Okay.
Robert Thomas leading assist leader with 20.
That
And
is a lot.
I mean, you know, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of Billy Husso, who is the backup Blues goalie because
My man
Bennington
Bennington.
is out on injured reserve. So that does kind of suck for the Blues. But
Yeah.
he's been performing well so far. I mean,
I agree.
we saw him against the Panthers on December 4th. 48 saves. 48 out of 50 shots that he faced. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, we did lose in shootout though.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, like, very impressive.
That's a respectable amount.
Yeah, especially for that being his, who knows what start, like just randomly out of the blue. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh hey, star goalie's out.
Going in,
You're
yeah.
you're in. Go ahead. and then coming out making 48 saves. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive.
He's got
So-
something to prove. Do you think he could take Bennington's starting position if he could?
He's
keeps his
really got to perform. Like
Yeah,
he has
that's what I'm
got to
saying.
be on his A game the rest of the time Bennington's out. I don't see it happening, but I think we could probably trade Bennington for a good player, because if we can see that Billy
Yeah.
Husso is good, we could totally get someone crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a smart thing to do, but
Mm-hmm.
will they do it though?
They should. I think it's pretty smart.
I hope so.
We clearly know Billy Husso's good.
Mm-hmm.
So
And heading on to the NBA, Warriors beat Orlando in a blowout not too long ago, 126-95. And the game before that, they took the Suns' win streak away. A little revenge game after they lost to 104 to 96.
My son.
And Clay's supposed to return possibly this month, so I
Oh man.
I smell a championship coming.
okay.
Hey, can we talk
Can
about...
we just exclude Devon for the rest of the show?
Honestly, I kind of hope Clay ruins the team in some way. I
feel
doubt
like-
it'll happen because it's Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
I just have like this
I don't-
gut feeling like the team isn't going to be the same when he gets back, either in a good way or a bad way.
I just hate seeing Golden State. This would be. Wait, would this be like their 5th in a row where if they do make the finals? Like that's absurd.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I hate
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it's
so
a
much.
dynasty right there.
The
It's
dy-
dumb.
everybody thought the dynasty was over, but they're back.
Why does Korea have 2
Unfortunately.
primes, dude?
2 primes.
2
yeah.
primes.
Yeah, like what the heck?
LeBron can't even do that. But
Wow.
Can we
Fighting
just
words.
talk about how impressive the Suns had been up till then, though? with
they're still pretty good.
They,
That's
I was
why.
gonna say they are still pretty
I mean,
impressive.
they are.
Like, you can't count them out, yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, it's Steph Curry, really
Oh.
close.
Yeah, he's 15 threes away from passing Ray Allen for a regular season 3-point record, and I hope he breaks the most threes in a game. Whilst
I was gonna say, yeah, I hope he
Whilst,
breaks Clay's record
winning.
and then also beats the other.
that'd be
record.
really crazy.
That would be amazing
That,
to watch.
wow.
Yeah.
He says he's shooting for it.
Shooting for it, really? Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He's got to make 15.
15.
It's a big
In
number.
a single game,
It's possible.
or you're saying more? Just 15 more.
15 3-pointers in a single game
Oh my gosh.
to
That's
surpass him.
absurd.
So Klay Thompson's is 14. That's absurd.
That's
Yeah,
42 points.
Should be a
Just
home
from
game
threes.
too.
it's gonna be really close.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I'm looking forward to seeing that. I hope it happens. That,
Me too,
That
honestly.
would be amazing.
And what about the Lakers? What do you think about the Lakers? How are they doing?
Right, they're not that good. I mean,
Yeah.
they did. They're slowly starting to step it up.
Yeah, I see Russell Westbrook's starting.
Yeah, but it's
He is
still
ready.
they should be here, and they're here.
That's what I'm
They're
saying.
just not
Are they even
Yeah.
top 8 right now in the
I
Western
have no
Conference?
clue.
don't-
I mean,
doubt
they have
are.
4 superstars on their team,
That's what I'm
and they
saying.
still
Mhm.
can't do anything.
Yeah.
And one of them is arguably the GOAT. So, I don't know. It's pretty disappointing this year.
But we'll see next week how they'll do.
Yeah.
How the whole NBA season will do.
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us on the 3rd episode of FHN GameDay. We'll be back next week with this before Christmas, so our final one of the year. Once
Yes,
again,
sir.
I'm Kyle,
I'm Devin.
I'm Parker.
and I'm Sam.
and that's our show.
See you
Peace.
guys.
See you.
See ya.
Oh, my
Knees, bro.
knees, bro.